Hello, everyone. I'm Kathi Kellenberger, and I'm here with my co-leader of the data platform WIT chapter, Mahadevan. And today we're interviewing Ginger Grant, who will be presenting a pre-con in November at the Past Data Community Summit. So Ginger, just tell us a little bit about yourself first.
So I am a Microsoft MVP and a Microsoft certified trainer. I have been working as an independent consultant for 4 years now. And I do all sorts of things with data, whatever I can get my little hands on. I do a lot with Power BI and Synapse, machine learning, Python, data warehousing, Microsoft Stack, Azure, you name it. I'm doing it or I have done it.
Awesome. So what's the name of your session? What's it about?
So my session is looking at a tool that Microsoft released in GA of December of last year, and that's Azure Synapse, and looking at its ability to use in machine learning. So kind of focusing on, it can do a lot of things. I'm not focusing on necessarily the data warehousing aspect of it. Okay. I'm just looking at doing machine learning and ETL with Python.
Wow. Yeah, that's surprising. I would never think of doing that.
Well, as a matter of fact, a lot of people are moving to doing ETL with Python because it's a little bit more economical. Also, if you've got a large amount of data, it's just not possible to do things in ADF. I taught a class recently, and one of the trick questions was, hey, how would you bring in this data? And the data was almost a terabyte. And if you try doing it with ADF, it would die. Wow. So with various things, also certain kinds of parsing, specifically HTML-based parsing, if you have to do that, it's probably easier to do that in Python. But the cost reason is why I see a number of people moving to do ETL in Python.
Okay, very interesting. So I think with a lot of the move to the cloud, I mean, just a few years ago, I'm pretty sure I sat in on a pre-con of yours where everything was on premises.
Yes.
So things are really changing.
Yeah, so now we're doing everything in the cloud, and it's kind of nice because, for example, I have a client and they gave me a computer, and I have a reminder to turn it on every 30 days so that it can get the updates, because everything that I'm doing is in Azure, so I don't ever turn it on. I'm using Office 365 for the email, and I'm using all my data tools are in Azure, so I don't even need somebody else's laptop that they generously gave to me.
Cool.
So does an attendee really need to know some Python to get the most?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
So what I'm really trying to do, because there's still so many people who haven't really gotten started with Python, and nobody wants to use a tool if they're never going to use it. So what I'm really trying to do is figure out what you can introduce Synapse as the location where you can do this kind of development in Python. So kind of marrying the tools around what you would do to create a larger data environment, not focusing so much on the data environment itself, but more like how you get there. Mm-hmm. Ideally, you could be using Synapse to create a data lake or using the data warehousing components of that. But I'm going to be focusing on how do you get there and what kind of tools you need to do that. And also some intro of Synapse as well.
So it sounds like maybe for people joining this, do they probably need a little bit of a background in machine learning, probably?
I'll introduce it so it's helpful to have, of course, a bit of a background in it, but I want to show how you can integrate tools, because one of the things that you can do with Synapse is if you're just starting out in data science, is getting the tools to pick algorithms for you. And this is actually something that a lot of different tool companies are creating now. This is like, look, if I know that I want to do simple regression, I'll just have the tool tell me which algorithm and how to tune my hyperparameters. Yeah. And you can do that with combination in Synapse with using AutoML, so that you can use the components that are libraries that are created to do that for you. Because the strength of using Python is basically the libraries, that you don't have to do as much nuts and bolts coding coding of things. And that, the use of notebooks, which allows you to save off the data so you can get an idea of little starter things that you're using as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so it sounds like it would be a really great session, maybe even for someone who's thinking about moving that direction in their career, just to get an idea of the tools available.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to target, because a lot of people are like, well, like, what do I want to use that for? And this session is basically going to be providing the answer to what would I use that for?
Okay.
Because that's the kind of thing, when someone throws a new tool out there, you're like, oh, great, what am I going to do with that?
Right.
How is that going to help me? Why would I want to introduce that in my job? Because if we're talking about past, so I'm targeting people who are data professionals who probably have a good background in ADF, who may probably have done SSIS. Maybe they are doing everything on-prem. So.
So you have anything else, Mala, that you want to ask?
No, I just want to ask, is this a good fit necessarily for somebody who's into BI and doing ETL a lot, or also for somebody who wants to move a lot of data to the cloud? Let's say a DBA who wants to move to the cloud, and maybe, they want to understand how would that help them too?
Yeah, because of course there's a ways of migrating data to the cloud as well. And then once it gets there, you're going to probably want to organize it and also continue to refresh your data, because if you're doing an ETL, what that means is you're getting data from somewhere.
Right.
So look at, where you're getting your data from and how you can move that to the cloud as well.
Cool. Very cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So one of the really cool things is this wonderful pre-con is only $200.
Yeah.
So it's a steal. It really is, because I can tell you that Ginger is a fantastic teacher, because I've sat in on her pre-con before.
Yes,
I remember a few years ago.
Yeah.
And if this is something you're interested in, or if you want to move from on-premises to the cloud, I mean, I think there's probably a little bit of something for everybody if you're interested in this area.
Yeah.
But it's only $200, and I think it's well worth it. So anyway, I think that does it for us. And Ginger, thank you so much for chatting with us today. It's been really fun, really great to see your face. It's been way too long.
I know. It's been forever.
It's been a long time. So
I love all the wooden dolls behind.
Oh yeah,
so cute.
I don't do background, so all that's like real stuff. I got a background from the Microsoft product team, but is a sweatshirt. But since I live in Arizona and it's still 100 degrees outside, it looks really good on my wall, and I will take it off once it gets cool enough to wear it. So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we
Thank
hope
you.
to see you soon. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you. Talk to you later.